Hi and welcome to the tour of the fantastic Lyseo 690 2020 Harmony line. So we'll have a walk around the vehicle first of all, so you can see all the features such as the rear view camera, which is located up at the top, the awning and the service hatches and various points of entrance which we'll go into. There is another video which is on the cab, which is specifically for the Lyseo range, which we always advise that you look at as well. So this is predominantly focusing on the habitation areas. So first of all, we'll come to your Burstner service hatch. Now your Burstner service hatch has behind here your water tank access and various other points. It's lockable with your Burstner key. If you see a red tab, then that barrel will not stay in. So what you need to do to lock it is to turn and push that in, and if you notice, that now has stayed in. So to open it, push the key in, turn, it pops out, you'll then see a red tab. That then will enable you to pivot the whole lock. That then comes out from there. Conveniently located on the door is a filler and a little spanner for your drain down point on your waste. Now your waste point is noted by a sticker which is here, and then you will note the waste tank point, and then if you see that section there, that is then where this spanner attaches direct onto, like so, and you turn and release from there, and then as you can see, your water system drains down. That is for wastewater and any fluid that's gone into the wastewater tank, which will be from your sink or your shower. Now here within this service hatch we have your fill up point for your water. You remove that, and then to stop anything spilling back, you will then put this device onto there. Your hose then can sit in there, and then if there's anything that overflows, it will spill out to the outside. Just fill that so it's being full. You will see that there is some water in here, which is roughly about a quarter of the tank. Again, on this model, the shape of the tank is a strange shape, so it might actually get to this point and then fill up very, very quickly. That's because there's a lot of baffles and things such as that in there. Once it's full, simply remove that and put the blue cap on. The red cap, you can remove that, but please bear in mind that you must remove that when it's empty, and that's for exactly as that sign says, to enable you to clean it and to get your hand in there to clean from any debris. On top of the tank we have this device that looks a bit like a steering wheel as you look at it from the top. That basically enables you to fill up or drain down the water to 20 litres. If you twist that, you'll feel a little nodule, and then water will start to drain out from there. It will then drain down to 20 litres. If you turn it back the other way, that'll stop it from draining. You'll feel a small lug on there, and then that will stop it draining any further. So all the way to the right is closed. Part way, the water system on here will drain down to 20 litres and no more, but then all the way to the left, all the way open, and that'll drain the full contents of the water system. We've then got your mains hookup point, which is next to it. When you plug your mains hookup in, you'll have a mains lead which will run through. Put your mains lead through here, and then you can close your door, and you'll see that there's a cutout which is here, which enables the mains lead to go through. Below that we have your drain points for your boiler. Now it's very important that you don't block this. This is basically to protect and is a frost protection valve for the boiler. Anything below 6 degrees, that will open automatically and will pop like so, and water will drain out of your boiler. To close that, 2 operations. Twist it, and this blue button there, push that in. If you don't do that operation first, you won't be able to push that in. So twist it and push. That will close that valve and prevent that boiler from draining the water out. This yellow valve is an additional valve which drains everything that's gone past the hot water boiler that's in the hot water pipes. Now it's very important for winter use, when you're draining down for the winter, that is in the open position. Both this frost protection valve and the yellow valve are in the open positions to prevent any water from freezing inside that boiler. Moving back, we've then got your outlet for your boiler. This will have some byproducts and will steam up around this area when you're running it on gas, and it's just basically the ventilation for that point. Further back, we've then got your gas cupboard. We've installed on your model here, we've got your 2 gas bottles which are located within here, tied down, and then we've got your regulator. Whenever you're removing the gas bottles, it's an opposite handed thread on here. Always leave this pipe connected, but on the opposite handed thread, what you need to do is just basically left for tighten, right for loosen, so the opposite handed thread. And then you also have an open and close which is directly on that gas bottle valve. Above here on this model, we also have your shower point, and your shower point is accessed with these keys. It's just a case of putting those keys in. Now these are the identical keys for the barbecue point on the opposite side. You have your hot and cold on there, switch is on there, and then your shower point is a bayonet fitting which goes into there. The shower point is in the garage. One important note, if you ever get inside the van and the pump's running and you can't understand why the pump's running, then the chances are that you've accidentally left that switch on. And that locks like so. So, moving backwards, coming into your garage, got your garage locker with access there. Carpets, cushions are inside those boxes. Also got your TV inside there. Got your winder, which we'll have shown you separately for your rear legs, and then above that is your winder for your awning. And we've got inside here your vehicle toolkit, which is your jack and wheel brace and various things such as that. You will see scattered around the vehicle various outlets. These are for your heater outlets. If you close those off, those will prevent air coming through and will push more air through to some other part within the vehicle. Open them up, and then that will allow you to warm that part of that vehicle. You've got these tie down points which you just loosen, slide along and tighten up from there for wherever you want them. And then you've got one on the opposite side as well. This door is lockable, same with all of the habitation doors and areas. Turn to lock, it'll then return back to its home position, and then that is locked. And then turn to open, you'll hear a click, and it'll return back to its home position, and it's unlocked. Got your reverse camera on there. There's a solar panel on this as well. There's nothing to do with the solar panel, it's regulated itself, so it just takes care of everything itself. So there's nothing you need to worry about, nothing you need to get involved with. Just basically leave it and it will charge your battery on its own. In here you've got your mains outlet. This is for mains power coming out. So if for instance you sat underneath the awning, you've got 12 volt power and you've got an external aerial point as well. And that's for things coming out. That's not power or anything coming in, that's for coming out. So if you sat under the awning, like I say, if you want to plug a TV in or something, then you've got that. And then we've got your awning up at the top. In here we've got your toilet cassette. Standard motorhome toilet cassette, which you may have seen on many of these videos. Basically is a case of popping that out and then sliding out like so. Comes out. To release its contents, twist that, take the cap off, go to your L-SAN point and pour out like so. Once it's empty, you can either put chemical inside there to the measuring jug, or you can just put your aqua tabs inside there and drop them into this part and then put a tiny bit of water in. Always ensure though that you put that cap on. Also, when you're releasing and when you're draining, push that in and that will remove any airlocks and allow it to siphon out better. Directly above here we've got your gas barbecue point, which again is the same key as the shower point. Unlock, pop, and then you've got, if it's in line, gas is going to operate. You have a little shuttle that goes onto your end of your gas barbecue on there. That's operational. Sideways is off and going to prevent any gas coming through. The habitation door is lockable on the central locking. So that's everything from the outside. Very shortly I'll meet you back inside the vehicle. Okay, stepping inside the vehicle, initially on the left hand side we've got all your light switches. One light switch does your entrance door and your awning lights. This is independent of the control panel, which is up there. So those will remain operational even when you turn the control panel off, only for a short period of time. If they're switched on, they will stay on, but the control panel after a short time will hibernate. You've got this button here, which is for your step. As you push that button, that activates your step. Then you can enter the vehicle. You have this here. This is magnetic sheet, so you can have magnetic glasses and things such as that. We've got your TV, which is located here with your remote control. If you pull that, that releases the TV and then you can pivot it out. And we've got two USB points in there. Now the control panel, really straightforward. We've got your main on and off button, which is here. On, off. Indicated by that lighting up. At the top we have your test buttons. So if you push that, it shows us the level currently of our leisure battery. The lights are on and everything as such like that. It's currently on a rest cycle on the battery from the solar panel, so it's just sort of showing 12.2 volts in there. We've got the one below, shows a little picture of a battery in the front of a vehicle, and that then shows us the level of the vehicle battery. If we let go, the LEDs go out. On this right hand side we have an indicator for our freshwater tank, which shows us the amount in percentage, and it will go down at 2 LEDs per time. And the one at the bottom shows the level of the waste. As you saw, we emptied it earlier, so there's no wastewater in there. And then finally this centre button is water pump on and off. If that light's not on, you won't have any power going to each of your taps, so therefore the taps won't work. So that, whenever you're camping, needs to be in the on position. Next to that, we've then got your heater. To turn your heater on, push that centre dial. That then brings up this display. The first icon allows us to set the temperature of the vehicle. Anything from off to 30 degrees, and you do so by spinning that around. If you want to go back to the display, press that back button. The next icon is for the temperature of the water. So you have off, eco, hot or boost. Eco roughly 40 degrees, hot roughly 60 to 65 degrees, and then boost still 60 to 65 degrees, but will do so at the detriment of having the blown air heating on. You can operate the systems with heat and hot water running at the same time, or you can have them just water only or blown air only. You don't have to have water in the system just to enable you to operate the blown air heating. The next icon is for the fuel that we want to use, so we can choose gas, spin the wheel, and it goes to mix 1, which is a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt of electricity. Mix 2, which is gas and 2 kilowatts of electricity. EL1, which is just 1 kilowatt of electricity, or EL2, 2 kilowatts of electricity. The only reason really you'd use 1 kilowatt is if your campsite is on a poor supply and it keeps tripping that campsite out. Your vehicle's rated for 13 amps. The final icon at the top is the fan, and that allows us to choose the speed of the fan. As nothing else has been selected, we can choose to vent and the blowers will just blow around. Or alternatively, we would just typically have the option of, let's just turn this on, to a setting, the different speed then of eco or high. When you select something, you'll notice then that everything above the line appears. So for instance, at the moment we've selected to use it from gas, so we've got a picture of a gas bottle. We've got a flame there to indicate that the vehicle is going to start to operate to get up to temperature, and with two things on the fan to show that it's on high fan. Once you've let go, those will stay on and the light will go off, and it will cycle between the time and the temperature that you've set it off. If that is flashing, it will be getting up to temperature. If it isn't flashing, it already means it's up to temperature. To go back to that point, press the button in the middle again, and it operates from there. So again, everything above the line is what is currently operating. Everything below the line on these icons are what you choose that you want to select. Next one down, you can have a timer, so you can choose start time or an end time. Next one is to set the time, and then the final one is to go into your settings where you can reset the system if you need to. To turn off and turn off completely, push the button and hold it, and after a short period it will go to off and the screen will disappear. When you do that, everything goes off. But to wake it back up again, turn on and it operates from there, and you'll notice then the preset that we had things set on were there. So literally we can just take that back and turn everything off, and as you notice, everything's a bit disappeared from those icons. Moving now towards the fridge, which would be the next thing you do when you set up. You push this button, which is this icon here, and then that turns on, and the fridge will work between different settings. Currently it's set to gas, so it's currently operating and looking for gas. If we hold that button for any length of time, you'll see that that now flashes, and we can cycle between A for automatic, picture of a mains plug-in for mains power, picture of a battery that will only operate when the engine is running, and gas, which is a picture of a flame. Simplest way to do it, A for automatic. Once you press that to confirm, you'll see that those start to flash. You want to put it on around about 3 or 4 and then press to confirm. As you see then, we're not plugged into mains at the moment, so it's gone A for automatic, and then it's going to look for gas. I've not got your gas bottles turned on, so you can see that it's now failed. It's not been able to light, so it's now flashing and warning us to say it's not been able to light. If ever anything fails, turn off. Turn to your gas bottle, make sure it's turned on. Initially, one thing that's always worth handy doing is turning your hob on, just lighting it, pulling a bit of gas through to the system just to make sure there's any air out the system, and then go again from there. But the trick is to have it on A for automatic, and that will take care of everything. If you're plugged into mains, it will automatically set itself to look for mains, even if you've got your gas turned on. And if you want to turn the whole thing off, hold that button, that goes off from there. Your fridge has got your storage inside there, and then a freezer box up at the top. And locks too. You do have this catch, which if you're ever going to leave the vehicle and you don't want any stale smells, just locks against there and leaves the fridge slightly ajar. Your hob, dead straightforward, turn to the large flame, push the igniter, hold for a few seconds once it's lit, then release it. If you release it too quick, the gas will go out. Just make sure that before you put this glass down, that the hob has cooled. This part is an additional part for your kitchen. This slides back, don't lift it, as some people do. That slides back and pivots. And then you have your tap. You've got blue for cold, red for hot. Start from there. Lift it and it starts to pump. Your hot, when you first get onto campsite, if you've just filled up with water, you're going to need to prime the system. Cold, literally turn on, it'll cough and splutter for a very brief second, and then it'll run clear. Your hot, What you're then going to have to do is fill your boiler. So in essence, you're replacing 10 litres of cold water into the hot water tank. So there'll be some air that you're pulling through that system. So have that to hot, it'll cough and splutter for a few minutes. Once it starts to run clear like it's doing now, your boiler's full. So you know you've got a full boiler tank, so you can then turn on and operate your boiler as I've shown you previously. Below here we've got your grill. To open your grill, lift this up and then pivot down. You've got your grill pan and wire inside there. And that closes. Sorry, I do apologise, your oven, not your grill. And then basically, to light, push the handle in, it clicks. Hold it in for a few seconds again. And then once it's done, release, and you can adjust from there. And then you've got a small light, which is there. Below here, we've got your circuit breakers. These are only for when you're hooked up onto mains. And then you've got your main circuit breakers there. One trick, push that trip switch at the top. If it doesn't drop down, then you're not hooked up onto mains. It means you've not got any power coming in, so it saves you a trip to the campsite and it gives you an idea whether it's the van that's at fault or whether it's the campsite. Underneath here, we've got your gas stop taps. These are in line, so these are all set to on. These are there for us to test and for also if one of the appliances develops a leak, then you can isolate them. Each of them are indicated by an oven, picture of an oven for your oven, hob, a pan for your hob, icicle for your fridge, and a boiler for your water heater. And then you've got storage in each of your items here. We've got your aquacam, we've got your additional little pockets for these devices here. We've got all your instruction packs and everything inside that drawer. You've got your kit for your tyres, which has got tyre inflator in there, and then we've got your bed sheets and bedding, which are inside there. Additional storage in the floor is accessed by pushing this down, and that pops up like so. And then pivot that down so you don't trip up. You've got your gas, sorry, I do apologise, your extractor fan, which is up here. On this model, which isn't standard, but we've had this one fitted obviously from factory for yourselves. You just flick on and off from there. And then you've got these lights, which are up here. You push on and push off. And you can also twist those, lift them out, and put them into any position that you subsequently want. You've also got up there, mains power socket, which is only live when you're hooked up onto mains. Inside your bathroom, we've got your toilet. To open the toilet cassette, pull that, and then that opens up to see the contents inside your cassette. Close that when you've used it, and then with this button, you push it to flush it, and then that flushes from there. When it lights up red, indicates that the tank, the cassette, is full. You've then got storage inside there, with another mains power socket there. In here we have your shower. This is for your external shower, and then we've also got your main shower hose. To pivot this wall so you can seal the shower off, push that in, and then this whole component slides back and then gives you a waterproof shower room. It's a fantastic space. Again, on each of these we've got hot and cold, hot and cold, and you'll notice that the shower tray has got two bungs, and that is basically for if you're not ever on even ground. Moving further to the back, we've got your ladders for access for this rear single beds if you're ever making them into a big double, and also ladders for your drop down bed. Again, same lights which are adjustable, and then you've got your mains power socket, and there is storage behind each of these cupboards, and storage in each of those. Lift up space inside there. This pivots out and gives you some more storage to then gain access and make access easier into these single beds. When you're putting that back, push this down from here and slide back. We've then got inside here, we've got your additional makeup cushion for your double bed. This which pulls out from here, and then this light which is switched on there. This part has got Velcro and different pieces so you can separate your pans and your things and put them inside different cupboards. Stops them from rattling about. and then you've got storage in there. We've then got additional socket, mains power socket, 12 volt, an aerial point from there. And then these blinds, just standard blinds, just pull to open. And then each of your windows that are around the vehicle pop open like so, and they're on a ratchet, so push it and it locks in. To bring it back down, lift it again and then bring it back down. And you'll notice that you've also got a locking position which allows you to vent it but keep the window secure. Then on each of the windows and windows you've got a blind in the bottom and a fly screen from the top. Moving towards the front of the vehicle, we've got this bed. Now your bed needs to be operated with these keys. Turn the key and then operate. As you push that button, it will move. As you let go of the button, it will stop. Push down, drops down to this height. You can then fit the ladders onto here and ensure that they're secure. And then you've got that lovely space there. If you've got pillows and they're particularly high, try to remove those and put them in one of the top lockers, but you can leave your duvet up there as long as it's not too thick. It's not really advised to have a mattress topper and then a duvet, but a duvet should be fine. Just make sure that it's not compressing too much against the roof. One trick when you're leaving the vehicle and you're leaving it in storage for any length of time, just lower the bed slightly. It's just going to allow it to breathe. It's going to stop any condensation or anything. And also one important thing, it's going to stop this vent from distorting because of the heat bouncing back off it. These lights, a touch button, push on, push off from there. They're LED, so it's not the end of the world if you do put it up and you forget about it and leave the lights on. You've also got those safety nets which attach into those components on the roof, and when you want to pop the roof back, the bed back up, push that button, LED lights up, and away you go from there. If there's any severe weight on that bed, then you will end up with an issue where it will pop the fuse. The fuses are located on the front side of this passenger seat and are located by lifting this section up like so, and then your fuses are under there. You've got your rear seat, which has got 3-point seat belts behind here. Last but not least, inside here we've got your bungs for your shower, which is quite handy to bob in if you're leaving the vehicle in storage. Just stops any stale smells coming up from the wastewater tank. You've then got your plug for your sink, and then we've got some spare keys there. We've also then got this contraption, which is your USB, which you can plug into any of the items where they've got rails, which are throughout the vehicle. So you've got various different areas where you can plug that in. It's quite a good idea, quite universal. This is the winder of doom. This is if you have popped the fuse. Okay, the simplest way is just basically to put the fuse back in, replace the fuse, carry some spares with you. But ultimately, if you ever need to, put that into there, and then you wind and you wind and you wind. So that sits into there, and then you wind. Well, if you're needing to put it up, you will need to put some weight lifting it and assist. So it is kind of a two-man job. Simplest way, if you have run out of battery for any reason, simplest way, just start the engine. Start the engine, leave it running for a bit, and then you'll be good to go from there. Your table, to move your table along, you just lift and you can slide along that rail. If you notice then that red tab pops out, when the red tab's away, the table's locked in securely. And then finally, you've got underneath here the additional leaf, which you pull here, and then that releases the leaf to pivot this table out from there. Your boiler is directly underneath here, underneath the forward facing seat. There is a reset sequence in there, but it's very rare that you'll need to do that. One trick is just always remember to plug into mains before you then select mains on that heater panel. Then therefore it's not going to get that fault code. So that's pretty much it with the vehicle. The final things, we've got fly screen and blind built into your habitation door. That's your blind, and then your fly screen slides across from there. Just ensure that your door is locked back though, because you've also got a bin which is in that area which can potentially damage the fly screen. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the motorhome. If there's any questions, you know where we are. Thank you very much.